Means yay!
I think stream has started. Oh. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear us. Can you hear us?
So we're gonna see.
Test.
Testing.
Testing. We're doing something crazy. We changed the setup. Let us know if it's not working or if you can't hear us or if you need me to shout.
No shouting. I'm sitting right here. I don't need you to shout.
I talk loud because I can't hear anymore.
He's totally dumb. Anyways, welcome everybody
weird sound. What is it?
Well, there will be some weirdness because we're going through an on-camera mic because we can't run two headsets through the room and we are in a half-circle room.
The sound is spiking.
Sound is spiking. Yes.
What about now? I'm making tweaks. Let us know. A slight distortion. See, this is what I don't like. We're going to get a Yeti mic, and things are going to be much
We're
more.
moving stream rooms after this, before my next one. Sounds like a weak mic. Well, let's see, that's the thing.
It sounds like a weak mic.
Okay.
Yes, this is a very, very well organized and highly technical outfit that we're running here, everybody. You guys know this. Only the best in technology for our streams.
Okay. So it sounds like it's a bit better, maybe, kind of, sort of. Basically, when we started streaming, we didn't know whether you guys were ever going to enjoy these. We had no idea whether this was going to become a permanent thing. So we took over one of the meeting rooms in the studio. And I think by this time, everybody in the studio would probably like the second meeting room back. So
I would. This is like, well, this is kind of like my second.
office.
This is like second office because the whiteboards are so huge.
Well, but you don't even have a first office. You have a desk.
I have a desk. Yes.
So this kind of is your office. I thought there are empty offices.
Anyway, all right. So anyway.
Point being, we're going to be moving so that we are no longer in a room that has a curved, like, we sit facing whiteboards and they're curved, like it's like that. So all the sound that we throw at it comes bouncing out. All right, well, whatever. So, hi everybody. This is week 19 of Early Access. Of course, my cohort just ran away, and I am your community manager, Kitty Chicks, and he is your game director, Chris Rubio, and he'll say hi officially when he gets back. As you can tell, I am down on a studio visit, so we have some crazy shenanigans that when we do that, which means we are in the same room and normally can poke him. So yes, so the audio is going to be a little bit off for this one, but it's okay because we'll still be able to talk and still be able to answer questions. And yes, so today's rundown is we will talk about update 13, which just went live this morning. So if you haven't checked it out yet, make sure that you are updating because you're going to need that if you want to come join us later, because we will be going for 2 hours today, which means you get your chance to play with us for 2 full hours. Okay, probably closer to an hour and a half, but you know, who's counting? And we'll maybe get a little bit of a peek into update 14, and then maybe we get a chance to see the forest gremlins, which are an upcoming creature that we're going to be adding to the world that we've talked about and shown off a little bit before, but they are progressing through various stages of development. So they're not in the game yet. Not yet. But we do still have a chance to actually see them with some of their AI today.
What's it?
Forest gremlins.
Oh, those little guys. Yeah.
Those little guys.
A little grunts. So it sounds right. All right, it doesn't sound too bad. You guys might have to turn down your volumes a little bit, but like I said, just well-oiled machine here, so we got this. All right, so you already did your intros, right?
And you missed your opportunity to say hi.
Hello, everybody, if I missed you. It's great that you guys all came today. We've got a lot of cool stuff to show you. I'm going to show you some of the forest gremlins, as Chloe has already told you. And then we'll jump in. I got a game set up, bunch of spirit orbs that I'm going to be giving away, and all that good stuff. So,
and of course, as always, we get to give away.
We're going to give away the game, which is super awesome, right? You guys love freebies. I like freebies. I would love to sit in the DEVstream and win free games. I'd do that all day if I could. That would rock. We have game update 13 that we just released, kind of like a micro patch. We fixed a few things, made a few tweaks. It's more like a smaller balanced patch, if you will. Made some updates to the Forest Giant. Let me know, guys, I made some tweaks to Draymar. Let me know what you think of that encounter. I'm sure you're going to find it incredibly fun. Yeah, right now we are working on game update 14. We'll have notes up tomorrow. We're taking a look at some of the things that we can optimize. What else have I done? I've added a bunch of cool little bits around the island. Some more ruins, some more little hidden spots. Updated some of the rocks so that there's less rocks in the world, which is causing, as we found out, is causing a performance issue. So yeah, there's going to be a big thing that Game Update 4 also has a lot of huge tweaks to the AI, so improvement. You won't see them the defiled skeletons standing around anymore. So a lot of cool stuff. Draymar is always on the move, so where you thought he was, he's no longer there. So just remember that. He's the wanderer. He's always moving. Different parts of the island. So with that, we'll have notes up tomorrow. In a perfect world, we'd have the beta patch up and running, but we'll see. I don't know. Depends on how things go today. Not highly.
Has it even gotten into testing?
Not yet. But our guys here, we're working on Toy Soldiers War Chest, which is looking really awesome. They're they're in the final phases of getting this thing to a close. So we're super stoked, but our test team has been swamped testing Toy Soldiers. So keep an eye out for that. I think you guys are going to really like it. I love it. It's a cool game. And with that, let's why don't we jump into stuff? All right. I like Ark, by the way, guys. I just haven't had a chance to play it all too much because my machine doesn't run it all too well. If I can get more than 20 frames out of Ark on a good day, I'm happy, but often I'm really laggy, and I only run on an i7 with 670 GTX with 16 gigs of RAM. So maybe one day it'll be optimized. So anyway, yeah, we're going to fix the mic next week.
There will be new setup, new things next week.
But you could always just, if it's too loud, you can turn it down just a tad. All right, so what do I have set up for everybody here? All right, this is our, what's that?
Shout out from Cloud, in pink. Cloud 25.
Oh, thanks, Cloud. Appreciate it. We got a lot of good stuff in the works, so we're continually optimizing. As many of you know, it's early access. In a perfect world, we'd be fully optimized, but because we're adding new things all the time and changing things up, it's just how development goes. So as we move forward, things will get better, I promise. All right. So this is our armory, which is pretty cool. Let me bring up Unity. There we go. It doesn't look too great, but we throw a lot of stuff in here, mainly for testing, so we can test out a lot of cool stuff. Like our first-person character model, third-person character model. Herman, the really low poly Raven, super low poly. And then we got this really cool creature that one day we'll get in.
What is it supposed to?
I don't know.
It's
what is it
a
indeed?
cross between.
All right.
Things from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. So we're going to set up. Where are our little guys? Here are the Forest Gremlins right here. It doesn't look too good in the editor, but when I run the game, it'll actually look good. I have a lot of the details turned off in the editor so that I can maximize my performance, so I can get around really quickly and do lots of cool things. So when you're editing and putting things in the world, from a design side, you don't necessarily need everything running at max detail. So these are the Forest Gremlins. These guys are really cool. Our animator, I give him lots of credit for getting these in. These guys, right now, they're really basic in terms of their AI, but they will get more advanced in time. Our audio, we'll be doing some cool audio for these guys. So we have 5 different variations of Forest Gremlins, and they're going to sit on different parts of the island. The idea is to make these different tribes of Forest Gremlins, each kind of different, and they drop different things. So without that, let me go ahead and let me put in an AI spawner. Actually, you know what's easier? Watch this. I'm going to show you some super magic. See how easy that was? It's almost like I'm tricky. Alright, so I got to add an AI module. We use these for testing creatures on our test levels. An AI drop component. And what AI type? Let's go find them. More spreads. There we go. All right. So this is the fun part as you guys see me navigate the wonders of the wonders of Unity. It's super awesome. It's like, man, has he ever used Unity before? I know. Chloe's having fun. All right, so I set up the spawner. Make sure it's in a good spot. All right, I feel pretty good. All right, I'm going to run the game. Let's hope everything doesn't go. I'm running on our stream machine, which means that it's not necessarily the most perfect of dev environments to run in, so things could happen. I tested it earlier, but you know, you could say that sometimes there are gremlins in the code.
We do occasionally have issues with gremlins. The forest gremlins have cousins called code gremlins, and the code gremlins might be winning in certain areas right now. All
right. As you can see, it looks much better now that I'm running than what you normally see in the tool. Let me pick up a weapon. Let's see. Hopefully I got the spawner set up properly. No, it doesn't look like he spawned in.
Aww.
These are what they normally look like. I think you guys have seen these before on a stream. I mucked up the spawner. You know, these guys, they love... So one of the things, once we get their AI fully decked out over time, we have a bunch of cool animations. They're drawn to fire. And what I envision for these guys is if you put up a campfire in your base or torches, or they are drawn to heat. They love fire. So they'll come to your camps and they'll actually hang out at your camps. That's the whole goal. So that when you roll up, you come back, you're like, what? Your entire area could potentially be overrun by forest gremlins. But naturally, they live out in the forest. There are a couple of them that are going to be wild, but they mostly hunt in packs. And they will kind of populate some of the ruined areas of the Sundered Isle. But they don't... One of the tribes, I'm thinking one or two of the tribes will come out at night, where the other ones kind of wander around at the day. But I don't know. I got a lot of cool ideas for these guys. But yeah, this is their basic animation state. You can see they're kind of lounging, taking in the fire here. It's pretty cool. Nate did a great job with these guys. Really happy from an animation standpoint how they turned out. All right, so let me go check my AI combobulator again to make sure I set it up properly.
Ah, the wonders of the black screen. Oh, I guess it's because you stopped it. Oh, no, never mind.
Yes.
It's just off. Yeah, okay.
All right, so min count, drop, randomize direction. Let's test our spawner just to make sure it's working. Let's spawn in helium. Of course.
Why helium?
Because I want to make sure it works.
Oh, gotcha.
And I know helium works.
I see.
Like I said, there are gremlins in the code. It's very possible that it, for whatever reason, will not work.
The forest gremlins are just have just gotten their code very recently, so...
There's helium.
Yeah, so that works.
So
it might just be the code for the gremlins.
Since I got helium spawned, that's why. I forgot there's some tomfoolery in the armory, and I'm not using my normal test levels, so that explains why. So I got a fix for this, guys. Again, well-oiled machine. I haven't used the armory in a while because I have a test level where I've been doing a lot of stuff. I'm in a new test level that has a lot of this. So hold on. I got this. But Helion, some of you may have noticed we made a tweak to his armor. So he looks, it's kind of like, I like to call it, it's the DeLorean look. So he doesn't have any paint or anything. It's kind of just brush metal. Looks really good, shiny. I'll spot him and you can take a look at him. And then we'll take a look at the forest gremlins. We got 2 hours of this, everybody. So let's bear in mind. All right. Okay. Come on. There he is.
So Zelbreth just asked in chat, are there any chance... Oh, wow. He does look quite different.
That doesn't look right, though.
Oh, I said he looked different. I didn't say he looked right.
What did Corbett do? All right, now I'm starting to... Okay, I'm getting a little slightly upset.
Okay, well, back to answering Zelbreth's
We're going to go
question.
to a different scene, actually.
You do that. And,
go ahead.
And Zelbreth has asked, are there any chance for dedicated servers before the game goes live?
Absolutely.
In fact, we're actually working on that right now. That's one of the things that Code is focusing on. So that's sort of one of the reasons why we actually had the later patch, was because we have this couple big things, dedicated servers and the character customizer and Kerr's encounter that are all in various stages
What
of...
is this?
I don't know, are you actually asking me, or are you going, Corbett's been playing with me?
What is this? This may have some relevance in the world at some point.
It's going to be on the...
I'm not going to tell you. That's
so it's totally going to be on one of the sacrificial altars. You have to pick up a skull and throw it at it. Oh, can we make that activated by skull?
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
Or like a dragon skull? Throwing a dragon skull?
Well, where do you get the dragon skull from?
Well, I don't know. That'll be the second encounter. Remember a long time ago? See, this is why Chris hates doing these live streams with me, because I throw his old words back at him.
I'm like, wait, I don't remember saying that at all.
Remember how you said you wanted Kerr's encounter to be like the first level, and that encounter after encounter would require something from the first encounter? So, once you kill Kerr,
well, yes,
you pick up his skull and you throw it at a gong.
You throw it at the gong. Oh, clever.
This is why I'm not a game designer, folks.
Not that it's a bad idea. You like that? Oh, that's a great idea.
No,
it's a great idea. That's a great idea, Chloe. Love it. All right. So we're actually the scene that I loaded. This is John, who does a lot of our AI, and he does pretty much like a ton of stuff in the game on the code side. This is his special AI test scene. So I come here every now and then when I need kind of a clean area, a slate, a palette to work from, and it allows me to do some cool stuff. But like I said, normally I have my own test level and I do my own stuff. All right, so I don't know why now I'm kind of upset. I don't remember him looking like that. Maybe it's this machine. It's going to distract me, actually, the whole stream now.
Well, but he won't look like that in game. It's only while you're in Unity that it'll distract you.
No, there's something there. So here we go. We got, all right, enemies. Let me get the guy, the forest gremlin guy. We're going to be good now.
So Behind's asked a few minutes ago, and I just had to scroll back. When should we expect, target, hope, pray, eat, love?
There we go.
Whoa,
hey, he's not like his little walk. Like he's going to chase you down. He's like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Where you going, Iridium? I'm going to get you. I promise you. We don't have audio informed just yet, but we will.
It's a detail. I mean, this is like, we do this in phases. This is phase 2. Phase 1 was showing you guys the gremlins ages ago. Oh yes, beta point your face.
Yeah, he's not really balanced at all yet. I'm going to get him in eventually. This is a fire gremlin, so you can see his skin slightly different. I'm also going to add some fire effects to him, so when you see him at night, he'll also give off heat. Imagine that. So when you're fighting him, you're like, ooh, it's getting warm. These guys are meant to be fun. I like these guys. They're going to have personality. I kind of think of them as the...
when we have taming in, can I have a little...
Yeah, you can have... it'd be cool to have these guys. It'd be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? All right, so these guys would be great. So I think of these guys as kind of like the little grunts from Halo. You know, they have all sorts of personality. All right, so they're fun.
So does that mean they're gonna speak English?
No, we're gonna give them gibberish. Game gibberish.
No, I want them to have lines like.
I could have them say "Ortini," right? You know.
I do. Okay.
So this is these guys. They're basic AI controllers in. They're a lot of fun. We're gonna give them some personality with audio. They're not going to do a lot of damage, but you know, in a group they'll be pretty nasty in a group, and also because they're tribal, they'll be in different parts of the island. They're different colors, which represents their tribe, and they'll drop different things, which will be pretty neat. Things to craft new weapons, like the glaive. All right, so there's that. He's done. He's happy. He's like, yeah, stupid skeleton. Get out of my way. I want you idiot. I love these guys. They have a lot of personality.
I will have a gremlin army that does nothing but... I guess, actually, if you were to tame a fire one, though, you would have a heat source, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd have a portable heat source that follows you around the whole time. It's kind of like having a torchbearer.
I'm just going to say...
Yes, make sure, guys.
You need to have a gremlin that can carry torches.
We are going to be playing today, and I will need a torchbearer. Just FYI, when I host a server, it's mandatory. Every game, torchbearer. It's your job. It'd be great to have you, and you get recognized on the stream for your great accomplishment. All right, so whoops. All right, so
the entire world.
Again, you guys are looking at this. It's just a test level, so if anybody is curious, nothing fancy to our test levels. We keep them very basic. Very simple. Let me show you guys some cool stuff. I got some stuff paused right now. So you can see kind of some of the AI data that goes on here. Like, for example, these white lines represent line of sight. These arms represent the first-person player, and you can see the skeleton's kind of locked onto me. Let me unpause here. Get out of here before I die. Well, I'm not going to die. I forgot. I'm in the dev mode. All right.
Well, that's a handy little thing.
All right, so let me pause again. So we're in our scene. You can see we got a lot of cool stuff going on, you know, basically pathfinding as well as line of sight. I don't know what the blue stuff is actually. That's John's special thing.
Maybe attack range?
No, let me show you attack ranges. I'll go into that. Yeah. There's a lot of code wizardry that goes on too that I don't necessarily need to know about as the designer. I just need to know that it works. So let me bring up. I'll show you guys how we kind of gauge attack ranges and all that cool stuff. So let me check these guys out. Show debug. Yep. All right. I'm going to move him off to the side. Those skeletons have a lot of reach. Yes, skeletons are nasty, aren't they? Vile, evil, undead. All right, so let's see. So I'm in debug mode right now. See a lot of cool things going on. Oh, you know, I haven't set the damage for this guy. Normally what you would see, because this guy's not set up fully yet, is as he's swinging, you'll actually see you'll see these red circles that represent the area, the impact area of the creature. Let me see if I get another guy that would have, that would demonstrate what I want to show you guys.
So how many different gremlins?
5.
So there's the basic one, the forest.
No, they're all different.
Well, no, but the one that we saw already.
Oh, he's the
fire.
Those are kind of
like your base force ones.
I haven't come up with the names of the different tribes yet, but each tribe will have kind of their own little name and feel unique in the world, and they'll also fit into the lore of the island.
So Amazing just asked in chat that you mentioned line of sight. Does that mean that at some point we'll see more stealth forms going in for the player? Apparently,
you can actually, as a player, move around in the world. All the trees and all the bushes are set up with specific colliders. Let me show you that real quick. I do before I jump back in and show you the attack stuff. So I'm going to show you guys a little secret. I'm going to show you some debug stuff. This is how I know when I play, which is not really, when I play with my kids when I get a chance, when I'm having them actually test the game, because I put my kids to work. They're often like, Daddy, how come the wolves don't attack you? It's like, because I'm sitting, I know how the collider system works in the game, and the line of sight system works in the game. But, kids don't play like that. So, nature, trees. I'll show you a bush. So here's a basic bush. I'm giving you guys a lot of details. Taking the game out of the game. All right. So when I break down a bush, take a look at its colliders. You have a foliage collider right here, this little green arc that you see. It's set up as mostly opaque. When you're inside this mostly opaque area, that tells the AI that it can't see you until it's within X distance. Now, if it's opaque, this is mostly opaque, but if it's opaque, it can't see you. So in a case of a skeleton walking on by, let's say walking on by these bushes here, and if it was set to opaque, it wouldn't see you. It would just keep on walking. As long as you don't make noise, because our creatures actually have a radius in which they can hear noise and detect noise, they won't see you. So trees have the same type of collider system, especially the low-hanging ones with branches, bushes, everything's set up this way. So when you hide inside a bush, especially the thicker ones, the creatures won't see you, as long as you don't make noise. Some creatures, you just got to be, it depends on their distance, of course. If they're further away, line of sight is pretty far, so they can see you from a distance, a decent distance. But just don't move, you'll be all right. That's why you can sneak up on deer. When you sneak up on deer, you kind of move through the bushes. And as long as you're coming up behind them as well, because the deer's seeing a cone. I gave away that. They're seeing a cone, so you want to make sure you come up behind them or from the sides.
But like towards the back of them.
Yeah, when you come up from the back, from behind, or most of the time, sometimes from the sides, you can get away with getting a couple hits. They're kind of squirmish.
Nate kind of pointed out when he was doing his spiel a couple of weeks ago, it was almost a month ago, when we did the 21-hour stream, and he was talking about some of the animation when the deer lift their head and you think they've spotted you, they haven't necessarily spotted you because of line of sight.
Say that again?
He's saying that when the deer do their quick look around, the code doesn't actually necessarily mean that they've spotted you. Like if you're coming in on perpendicular to them. According to Nate. According to
Nate, huh? Is that what he's saying? I don't know about
what he's saying.
That's an animator.
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 The animator.
Well, there's some trickery to our code and how the game works, and sometimes not all the details are exposed to everybody on the team. Only a few of us know how it works.
And sometimes people have misinformation.
Yeah, he's very close to being accurate. So, but I don't want to give all of our secrets away, Chloe.
Been said, so I don't spoil things. I just remind people what's already been said so we can get clarification.
All right, guys, I'm setting up this skeleton into debug mode so I can show you how we gauge attacks. If all goes well, it'll work. But again, I always preface it with we are on the stream machine, which is not set up for a real dev environment, so things have a tendency to not always work the way I want. All right.
So Thanatar just made a comment about the bow, that we're sneaking up on a deer, since we were on the subject before we get back to the skelly. Sneaking seems to work almost better than the bows.
Yes. That's you're sneaking up on a creature, yes.
Right. So
you're firing a bow at a creature. As soon as it impacts, it's going to go, wow, somebody just hit me with something that really hurts. So you're going to run.
Well, but I mean, if you snuck up on a creature and you thwack them, I mean, okay, I guess it also depends on what sword you're using. Hey, someone's didn't mute their phone. But wouldn't it also make more sense at some point, you know, for them to, I mean, unless you have a one-hit sword, for the bow to be better?
Chloe confuses me often.
AKA, can't we get better bows?
We could. Yes, we could. Yes, I do want to do better bows. So, if you watch the skeleton here, you can see that when it attacks, you'll see these red circles. Those represent the areas that the damage is applied. So
the more concentric circles, where they're more like overlapping, does that mean you're getting more damage in that particular area?
No. There's only one set amount of damage that's applied, and it detects within these rings. You know, is the player within these rings, and then it allocates damage accordingly. So there you go, guys. There's some cool stuff. That's Devi. Another one. Oh, all right, guys. No, they're set up in debug mode, so they're not going to do any damage. But there you go, fun stuff. You can see the line of sight. You can see their colliders. You can see them pushing the player. You can see the red circles that represent kind of the areas in which damage is applied. It detects, all right, players in area, apply damage.
And Amazing's just questioning, and this is a question that I have, if you aim for a deer or any other creature's like legs or something like that, will that affect them at this point?
No, there is no hit area specific system in the game. Not yet. Now, it would be kind of cool to have something like that, but no. There's no, if you hit a deer in his hind leg, will it slow him down? No, there's nothing like that.
Is that something that we would want to do? I mean, that seems like it would almost complicate things.
It's kind of a neat concept, but I think for a lot of players, it tends to be overly complicated. If you ask me, would you rather have shields or would you rather have, you know, areas where you could hit somebody and you hit them in their arm and their arm goes limp? Well, that has a layer of realism that's pretty cool, but I'd rather have shields.
That's fair.
I think most players would rather have shields. That would be cool, right? So anyway, there you guys go. You get to see some magic, got to see the forest gremlins. You get to see how we kind of take a look and balance things in the game. And with that, who wants to play? Anybody want to play? Anybody want free stuff?
Well, while we set that up,
do you want to do a giveaway?
I'll do a giveaway, but you have to tell me what we're giving. What's the keyword?
Let's see. Collider.
Collider. Okay, that's the wrong program. I want this program. Collider. No problem. Amazing.
All right. We're going to bring back the desktop.
You don't start entering it in yet because I haven't set it up and it's being slow. All right. Do. And the keyword is. Oh, there we go. Is that how you spell that?
2 L's.
Yep. Is ER?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So Crimson the Witch is asking, do the deer actually limp when their health get really low? Or
no, they do slow
the
down.
butt wiggle?
They slow down.
Do we get rid of the butt wiggle? Because the butt wiggle was really cute.
They slow down.
Okay.
Of course, Unity. Come on.
It likes to not close when we close it.
So enjoy the black screen, everybody. It's the darkness. It's
okay.
This is Chloe's soul. I'm
gonna get that pillow and whack you upside the head again.
I'm gonna do. Hold on, let me get in. There we go. You guys get half. How's that? You get the right eye, the right side of Rubior. All right, you get the left side of Chloe. All right.
But you keep actually pushing me in because you keep turning my chair.
Right, hold on, guys. I gotta force this down. Sorry. Like I said.
Oh, not magic missile.
Magic missile.
Magic missile.
All right.
Magic missile.
Well, not gonna work on me. All right, so we're gonna launch Savage Lands. All right. Hopefully all goes well. Take over from here. Come on, explain.
Well, it's got a it has to load into a less than black screen. There you go.
There we go.
Ta-da!
It's alive! It's alive! That was Young Frankenstein.
Technically, it's still young Dr. Frankenstein. He was still a doctor at that point.
All right. So what do you got? While we're loading,
Well,
we got what a magic missile collider.
yeah, you know, the thing that you asked me to do. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, all right, let's pick some winners. And oh, hey, while I'm picking the winners, why don't we do a really quick preview of update 14?
I did.
What was in it? You just said we were going to post it.
Oh, I said that there's obviously more AI improvements,
Oh, that's true.
which is the skeletons, the defiled skeletons, the ones that are kind of all gangly. They'll no longer spawn and just stand there. They're going to go back to moving around. We fixed some issues with creatures getting stuck on trees. Forest giants will now be dormant when you come across them. There were some issues there. Forest giants, we fixed an issue with them getting stuck in trees. So all the joys of AI and pathfinding. But we fixed a lot of issues on that front. I've tweaked a lot of the, let's see, what have I tweaked? I'm thinking of actually.
You were looking at Kerr finally, right?
Yeah, Kerr, the time in terms of his aggro on the player, I've reduced that a little bit. Let's see, and there's the AI stuff is the biggest. And then, of course, more optimization. We've reduced some of the rocks out of the world. They've caused a lot of problems with performance because there's so many of them, believe it or not, spread throughout the island. Now, this is not, hey, did you just clear out the start area where players are? No. We basically have just been thinly reducing. Some areas will be, I'm looking at the map and determining what makes sense. Should rocks be in this particular area? And I've cleaned some out. Like the center of the island is kind of thin, with the exception of the larger rocks. So we're looking at ways to just kind of clean up, optimize, and make things nice. Now, I added some more ruin areas to the map, some more ruins that you'll find in the waters along the way, or in the beach areas along the way. You'll find some new little Easter eggs that I planted for players all along the beaches. Just keep an eye out now. For you advanced players, not so much, but for you new players just coming in, yeah, they're pretty cool. You'll actually, I think you'll be excited when you come across these things. They're pretty cool. But, the advanced players. Now, people have asked, where do you get Flesh Ripper from? One of the ruins areas, and I like to kind of help. I do give little architectural clues, geographical clues to how to find some of these Easter eggs. The ruins closest to the 3 pillars that's in the water, if you look at the way the stairs are pointed, and I'll actually, you know what? I'm going to show you guys. We're going to go, let's see, host, single official stream, friendly. I'll just show you guys. There's a staircase that points in the direction that you will find Flesh Ripper. Very simple. All you have to do is stand on it and run. Of course, many of you know it requires a lot of frostburn bandages and armor to get there, but if you do, it's a pretty cool weapon to have. Matter of fact, I'm actually already standing on the staircase.
Gee, I wonder how and or why.
You like that segue?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
good.
No.
So here we are. Of course, it's Blizzard. It always blizzards every time I play. All right, these ruins right here. You'll see down in the distance the 3 rock pillars that represent you're leaving what I consider the starting area of the game. But if you were to stand on these stairs, boop, they face in the direction you need to go to find the fabled Flesh Ripper in the game. Good luck, everybody. All right, so my game is up. If you want to play, come on in. We'll all meet in Argo. Argo is the official hotspot. All right.
What's the name of the server?
It's Signal Studios official stream. Oh, let me turn on monikers.
Always useful.
Always useful. This way I know who I'm playing with.
And for anybody who is trying to join or has joined and is currently looking for where they are, make sure that you have draw monikers, that little checkbox that you saw in his stream or on his screen just a moment ago, checked. Otherwise, you will not see people's names above their heads. And then make sure you decide whether you want to see their stream name or their character name, because there are two different options. So
how many guys out there, you old schoolers, have this blade? Ooh, probably only a couple of you. Sean, I would imagine, has probably like 20 of them.
Which is it?
This is the forged obsidian blade.
Which hasn't been in the game for a while, right?
No, I pulled it. It's there. Oh, all right, we got a torchbearer. We got Shadow Lord. All right, guys, we're good to go. We can leave at any time now.
Well, no, but you're still, you got to get your other, you got to find your other folks first. You can't leave it too. Okay.
Hold on, Chloe. Let me see if I can find everybody.
Well, while you do that,
there's all their names.
I'm going to announce winners.
All right, winners, let's do it.
Winners. Okay, so congratulations to Amazing 87, Old and Ugly, and Spark Shards. You guys will get copies of the game. Make sure that you message me, and that will be in chat momentarily. And the link for messaging me, Moobot will spit that out very shortly. And there's you should smack that. Smack it. Smack.
So if anybody's curious what a flesh ripper looks like, I have it in my hand. Looks like Crank there has a flesh ripper as well. It's starting to become a common weapon now.
You're going to have to go put in a new piece of armor.
Yeah, do some cool stuff. All right, so here we are at Argo. Oh, somebody didn't aggro Kerr, did they? No, let's.
No, he looks like he's banking.
All right, yeah, he's landing. Woo! All right, good stuff. All right, nobody aggro Kerr. We're gonna wait till he leaves. I don't want to deal with people dying. Hey, if anybody wants a crude spiked club, there you go. All right, we are in Argo. For those of you not equipped for battle, I do have some gear that that I can share, but it looks like the troop today is well equipped. Torchbearer, you don't have to worry about fighting. All you got to do is keep us lit in the world, and if people get lost, which is kind of hard now that we have the ability to find other players on a friendly server, which is awesome.
It's harder.
It's if you get lost, our princess. Hold on, I got something for you.
Should move the screen to the other side.
Maybe. Hold on, I gotta type.
So that's why Chris doesn't do our updates anymore, because it takes a while.
Oh, looks like somebody dropped the Forge Obsidian Blade.
Ooh.
Look at that, just giving stuff away. Those don't drop in the game, by the way, guys. Well, actually, I'm sorry, they do. In a particular area in a burned out village, but I'm not going to say exactly where in that village. So if you know what the burned out village is, keep an eye out. All right, so Kerr's still hanging out at the perch. We're going to hang out here for just a few minutes until Kerr leaves because I want to go kill some forest gen. What do we got? 2 hours, don't we?
He's going to sit there and be all happy and not do anything. You're not going to go aggro him. No, don't go aggro with that.
I don't want to. I'm not going to aggro Kerr.
That will be 20 minutes of everybody stand in a house, nobody leave the house.
Thinking of what we should do.
Well, let's see, 2 hours, you're going to go through at least one night cycle, which means you can, try and find another, thing.
All right.
Spear wolf.
Well, we got everybody's here. We're going to do 2 minutes, and then we will head out. I think we're going to run along the beach. We're going to make our way up towards Helion because I don't see any of you. Anybody have a Gray Reaver? You got a Gray Reaver? Show it to me. Well, of course, Crank here has a Gray Reaver as well. Crank is fully decked out. Sweet. Randomized user just joined. So we're going to make our way to Helion in just a few minutes. What weapon? Old but new. Any weapons? I just want to make sure you guys have everything.
Did the burned out Did the dimly lit torch get pulled out?
I think I pulled it out. It's just kind of useless.
Did you add the burned out torch to the list of decay items? Because it's not on the original list.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I have to take a look at it.
There
was like the dimly lit torch. Maybe it's still there. There's some stuff. I'm always constantly fiddling with things, guys. So like the dimly lit torch, I thought was completely and totally useless. No, it's still there. You can still make it. I'm gonna pull this thing out. I think it's useless, but you guys can, if you can persuade me otherwise, I won't do it. All right. So 1 minute. Then we're gonna make our way along the beach. No, we're not gonna make our way along the beach. I forgot. I actually have some cool rooms up near Helion spawn in the water to let you know that if you follow the beach, I've made a lot of, in the next patch, I've made a lot of cool tweaks, added more stuff into the water areas as the Sundered Isle is slowly decayed. But I keep forgetting we're on 13 and not 14.
Yes.
I tend to do that. I'm always a patch ahead of everybody. It's like, why isn't this there? I put something there. I also updated the monolith area in patch 14 as well. Some cool stuff. So randomized user who has a full village there, I apologize if you have a few pillars sticking out of your houses. Just throw that out there.
Now might be the time to go and remove some of those, just potentially. Although I do enjoy the fact that one of Jamie's houses has some shelving in it via the stairs. So yeah.
Oh, Cloud. It looks like I think I already have a full. I have a full, hold on, why am I, you like how I'm doing it in XSplit? All right, so I think I already have a full complement of players, so yeah, it looks like we're full up.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Everybody was refreshing. I'd already set up the game beforehand so that as soon as I posted it up, it would, it was open to everybody, so. But never fear, we do more streams, and there's always an opportunity to get more stuff. And every now and then, on the rare occasion, I may pop into a game and just give people free stuff because I love giving free things away. So, but yeah, the game is full, guys, right now. If someone drops out, I'll let you know, but everybody seems to be fully decked out in lots of epic gear. So that's how we roll in this group. So anyway, all right, where's Kerr? Did Kerr leave it? Nah, we're going to run, I can't run along the beach. I got to make that straight beeline across. All right, guys, we're going to run through the middle of the island. It's going to be very hard to get lost. Just torchbearer behind me, and we will engage.
Indeed. So, Cloud, one of the things that we're actually looking to do is player-to-player servers may not actually increase in terms of like player numbers, but we do expect that when we have our dedicated servers go in, which, as we said at the beginning of the stream, is something that they're currently working on, that the player cap on a dedicated server will actually be much higher. And that's intentional. I mean, on a player hosted server, you are dealing with player connectivity, both from the host server and then also like individually to everybody else. So it's a lot more work for a player hosted model, but we went with this, like we chose to go with the player hosted servers at the beginning so that we could actually ensure that there were less bugs when we actually got to dedicated server, because all the nitty stuff got worked out, and is still being worked on.
And truthfully, Unity did not have a good solution for dedicated servers. You look at games like DayZ, which was built off the Arma engine. You look at Rust; it was built off the Source engine. These bits of technology already had good solutions in place. Unity does not. I mean, for the great things Unity does do, one of the things it does not do well is a multiplayer backend. So we had to code all that from scratch. And the first step of that was setting up kind of the peer-to-peer aspect which we have right now, which is the 8 players. Anymore, you know, it's run on one server, it renders everything, where our dedicated servers, which is what's being worked on right now, will not be the case. It'll just be a very bare bones, basic, run the information behind the scenes. Ideally, we're shooting for something that's much easier to set up than, say, a Rust server or a DayZ server. I haven't ran an Arc server yet, so I don't know how difficult it is to set up a server on Arc. The last time I looked, though, it seemed relatively easy. We want to be in that realm, but we have to code it all from scratch. So that's...
It's a trade-off, though, because no matter what engine you go with, they all do certain things really well, but no engine does everything well, right? I mean, with, say,
they all have their plus and minuses.
Unreal, it's a complicated engine to learn, but it has a lot of different options going forward. Unity is perhaps a little easier for a smaller team to use, but it's limited. I mean, we had a lot of things like trees. Unity does not handle trees.
Well,
at all.
There's a lot of homegrown code in our games so that we could populate our world with all these different trees, and do it. You know, all these trees have collision colliders on them. They have line of sight colliders that prevent enemy creatures from basically line of sight. So you can get I can literally get behind this tree, stand here, not move, and a creature would not see me, or stand like right here inside this tree, and a creature would not see me. Now, if I wrestled around, there's actually audio colliders in here, or an audio foliage system that would make noise, and then the AI would hear that, and then it would cause the AI to attack you. So here we got packs of wolves.
Hey, puppies!
But yeah, the Unity is a great tool. I mean, if you're a small team, you want to get started really quick, Unity is a great tool to use, and it has its plus. Every tool has its pros and cons, from proprietary technology to off-the-shelf technology like Unity and Unreal. Unreal is a cool engine. I've actually started working with Unreal on some other internal projects, and it's dynamite. I love Unreal 4. I wish we had Unreal 4 when making a game back in the early 2000s called Renegade. CNC Renegade, it would have been phenomenal. But Unreal is awesome. Unity is awesome for what it does. So I can't really knock each one because they each, Source is actually a cool engine as well. But they all have their pros and cons. So you pick your pain. And we wanted to get the game up quicker, and Unity allowed us to do that much more seamlessly. So it was easy for our team. All right. So let's see. Anybody have any questions?
Well, Captain was wondering about shields and blocking.
Yeah,
which is definitely something we've talked about.
Yeah, we want to get that in the future. Totally want to do blocking and all that good stuff in the future. Right now, our code team is tied up doing character customizer and dedicated servers. So, and our code team being 3 guys. Yes. So it's
2 guys and a chick.
Yeah, Jackie's really good. She's gameplay.
Awesome.
Jackie's focused on the character customizer, while John and Tom are focused on the dedicated server. John is probably, I would say, focused on the AI stuff. Tom's focused on the dedicated server stuff. So we've got a really good team, but we can't. I wish we had 40 guys like the Arc team. They have 40 developers. We could do. If we had 10 engineers, we could break all that out and do a lot of cool stuff. But we got 6 guys. And we do the best we can with 6 guys, so we have to kind of, phase which features we want to get in. So I know a lot of people are like, you got to do this and you got to do that, and we're working as fast as we can, guys. We're doing our best. So, but the good thing is and many of you see this, we are supporting the game. We're not just as some of the YouTube influencers have commented, those guys that take their suitcases of money and run. We're not that developer. We're not doing that. We're committed to getting the game out the door and making something unique and fun. So, and you guys can see that. We try to release an update. Early on, it was every week. And now we're kind of at a 2-week pace because a lot of the features we're putting in now are a little bit more complicated, require more time, and we are going back overhauling some of the earlier stuff that we did.
Yeah.
So it just takes a little time.
it's one of those things that because you guys are involved in a very actively developed game, this isn't something that you would ever necessarily see in a regular game because it's already game balanced. It's already, you know, gone through QA. It's already been bug tested. For the most part, by the time a game, you know, walks out the door and into retail or on Steam, assuming that it wasn't in early access. So you're kind of getting it's an in-progress experience, and we hope that you're enjoying that, and we hope that by being involved in it, you have a better understanding of what game development actually entails. Because what we're doing is what every single other game studio goes through. We're just kind of like, look, we have a transparent fourth wall over all of the stuff that we do. So.
Looky what we found here. A forest giant waiting to be slain.
He looks different than the last time. Maybe
because he's a blue eye now.
No, like this part, like he actually looks brighter. He looks more colorful.
Because we're
maybe that's the issue.
All right, so look at those guys turn. Watch out, guys. I love watching when a plan comes together. All right, there's a lot of us. It's like taking down a tree from Lord of the Rings. Woohoo! Oh, man, there you go. Don't focus on me. Oh, yeah, I forgot these guys have more health. Sorry. If anybody dies, yeah, it was great. Thanks for coming to the stream. Oh, man. Oh, we got it.
Kerplunk.
We got the manpower to do it. These guys actually, I forgot that I increased their health, too. A lot of tweaks are made to these guys. So if you're trying to solo them, it's a little bit more difficult now. So just, you know, be mindful of that. Let's see. Hold on, before we go any further, anyone need food? Speaking of which, I can use some beef jerky.
I can go get some. A comment from the Jukebox guy is he's wondering about the graphics and whether they'll be upgraded. Part of what you're seeing, actually, is we do actually turn down the graphics slightly for streams.
Yep.
Most streamers do. It does look, I think, quite a bit better when you have everything up to fantastic and beautiful. But the realities of technology when you're streaming means that you actually want to turn things down slightly so that you, on the viewing side of things, get a better experience. When you're playing online, you don't need to do that if your internet can support it, so or your computer can support it. So we turn things down slightly. But that being said, yes, there are still optimizations that we expect to do as we go through the development process. Nothing in this game is actually finalized until we are out of early access development. And that's when we'll actually consider the game to be finalized. We'll still be supporting. We're still doing bug fixes and that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Hold on, let me make sure everybody's good. Got bear meat, randomized users. Good, good, good. Everybody warm here. Yep. All right. All right. Hold on. Let me get my bearings. We came in from that way. All right. I know where we're at. Isn't that crazy? I can just look around and know where we're at.
And what are you planning on doing now?
We're going to Helion.
Ah, Helion spawn.
So for those watching, we're going to the Helion spawn, which is actually on the opposite end of the island. I decided, hey, let's go to a spawn that's going to take 20 minutes to travel to, because that's fun. But Helion drops the ancient relic blade, which is used to forge, which is needed to forge the Grey Reaver. So that's why I love going there. It's a cool chance for all of us to get together as a group and take down this mob, but he does spawn at night, so we're going to be hanging out, telling stories, cooking marshmallows, you know, the good stuff. But we'll make it there in just a second, or in like 5-10 minutes. All right. Looks like our torch bearer is getting attacked by wolves.
Oh, that's not good.
All right, so... All right, so we came in that way.
I thought you were... did you box? There will likely not be a third-person view.
Looks like one of our guys is way off in the distance.
He joined.
Oh,
He'll be good, yeah. But
All
somebody else dropped out, so he jumped in. So he's running.
Oh.
He'll meet you eventually.
All right. All right, guys, let's roll. Sports. What do we got? As a dev in training, hold on, when I start joining the game now, whenever we get out of early access. Well, so that's kind of the thing about Game Development Cloud is that, yeah, you're in early access as a dev. You could spend an eternity in early access, but you really actually don't want to. The idea is that when you build a game, you bring it to a mid-viable state that people will enjoy. You don't want to just bring rubbish to the early access. You want to bring something that's actually fun, and then leverage the community to give you ideas and help inspire you and help the team make a better product. And ideally, within a 12-month time span, bring that to fruition. Bring it to retail. That would be the ideal plan. Now, there's games that have been in access for 2 years, which I find absolutely and totally crazy, by the way, especially within the polished states that they're actually in. No names will be said, but I'm sure many of you can kind of guess which games those are, survival games. But yeah, if you can take a year to develop it and then take another year to polish it through early access, that's the best possible thing you could do. And if you can build a good fan base, community base like we've done, get people out there spreading the good word, you can build a great game. Subnautica is another great game. Started out, early on, not a lot of people knew about it, but it grew over time. It's a very well polished game. I applaud the developers behind that product. It's actually one of my favorite games out there on the survival genre. I just enjoy the overall. It's just different, which is kind of like Savage. It's just different. So I applaud them for doing something unique and building on it over time. So those guys have done great stuff.
Yeah.
Ark is a great game as well. They've transcended what a lot of survival games have done, but they have the manpower to do it, which is also a great thing to have. They have a lot of good. It's high quality. Once they get the perf up to speed for a lot of players, I think it'll be in a really good state. But they have a lot of good systems, and it's definitely built for the mass market. As a developer, that's my opinion. All right, let's roll.
So while you're rolling down, I had a question from the forums, and since we're talking about the character customizer, can we talk a little bit more about it? Because if people weren't on, you promised you would have details for me today.
All right. We have hairstyles. Ooh.
And color options for hairstyles.
Color options for hairstyles. I think in the before we told you guys, we just gave you an art.
Don't get distracted!
What is it, Logan?
Focus!
Now I totally got turned around. Logan?
Focus!
Oh, where's the randomized user? I don't even know where I'm at anymore. And I don't have a compass on me. Hold on. I'm gonna wait on our computer. Thanks, Logan. So we have Logan in here. Many of you know Logan is he's the all-around technician. He helps us fix a lot of things. Producer here at Signal Studios. And
balance designer.
Oh, apparently he's a balance designer too.
Jack of all trades.
He does everything, apparently. And he's coming here to distract us.
Come on, Ruby, what is it?
What?
All right. I actually got turned around.
But I mean, I can draw.
And I'm going to call upon our community, randomized user. Can you guide us to the Helion spawn? I'll follow you. I'm actually turned around. I don't have a compass on me, so I'm kind of hosed. See, this is where we're going to work together.
I am so confused. So long.
What are you doing, Logan? You messed us up. Hold on.
Devlin's waving at you, however. She says hello.
What did I dodge? No.
You're dodging.
What question did I dodge?
You're the customizer.
No, I'm not dodging that question.
You just got distracted.
I got distracted. Perfectly timed, though. We're going to follow randomized user. He's going to get us on course. I just put a lot of pressure on him.
Well, he doesn't know.
So we're totally lost, and he has the compass, which is dynamite. All right, hold on.
Aren't you so glad you joined us for this 2-hour stream?
I will use the sun and the sky to determine where we are. All right. Onwards, I think, Jamie. Thanks, Logan. Appreciate that.
Okay, so back on track.
Wow.
Well, you figure out which way you're
I
supposed
think
to
we're
be
good. Hold on.
going.
I'm just looking at the sky dome.
Which you can't see anything because it's
No, I can
silent.
see which direction the sun is headed, so I know how the sun sets in the world, so I know,
All
I
right.
know where we're going.
Anyway, so
Wasn't that dynamite, by the way? I have to rely on the community now.
custom character selector thing. So we're
Uh-huh.
going to have hair with hair color options.
Yes.
Which is basically a sliding RGB.
You're gonna have. So let me go over it close.
There we go.
You'll be able to put in, input the name of your character. All right, hold on. All right. You'll be. All right, guys. I feel like we're going the right way. This is a feeling, instinct. We're gonna have hair color. You'll be able to input the name of your character, which will be super awesome. That better not be. That's either. Okay, I know what tower that is. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm course correcting. I know which tower we're at. Please. All right. You're gonna have the ability to put tattoos on your character, which is really cool. You'll be able to change the face of your character. And you'll also be able to colorize the skin color. I like to run with a bright emissive yellow, which is always great because then nobody will miss me. But the character customizer will be in phase 1, which is kind of a basic, let's get it up and running. Everybody's left me, by the way. It'll be up and running. Just keep running, guys, if you know where you're going. Here we are. We're here at the Lycor spawn. So, yeah, see, I knew where I was going, which is cool. Let's hang out here. Let's get Lycor. No, never mind. So we're going to have a bunch of basic options early on. Phase 2, we're going to expand that to give you more options, different facial types. Ideally, there's a couple morphing tools that are available to us that we want to put in Phase 2 that allow you to kind of expand your character, do all sorts of cool things. And of course, Phase 2 or Phase 3 would be adding in a female character model as well. So hopefully that answers your question. I don't like dodging questions. I never,
No, that was the question that you were
I don't
asked.
try it. I mean,
You said tattoos, right?
yeah, tattoos. Corbett made some really cool tattoos. He has some sleeves, full body tattoos. If you want to run around the cold world without a shirt on, that's super cool. Some really cool hairstyles, ponytails, really slick dude like I have, call it the Rhino. So there's some cool stuff that he brought in and he made for the character. But it's phase 1, and more will be added over time. So that's the important thing to keep in mind. All right, guys, I know exactly where we're at now. So let's just keep moving forward.
They're asking about when dedicated servers will actually go in.
Yeah, that's in Code's hands, and it could be tomorrow, or it could be 2 weeks from now. It's.
I mean, one of the things is
it's brand new code.
Yeah, and when we create something, we obviously have to spend some time testing it internally to make sure that when we do release it for you guys to get access to, that you have a good experience, because we're kind of fans of not releasing broken content.
All the time.
Or in general.
Yeah, we're really good about having a pretty tight ship.
Exactly, but that requires that we have to do testing, and if it means that we aren't going to have something right away, well, that's the reality. I mean, we're not going to release something that is going to give you a bad experience intentionally, by any means. So,
It's getting dark, guys, so we got to move.
Is that a good thing, though?
It is. I want to get to the spawn before dawn.
Before dawn. Oh, before dawn.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna be.
Do you have Jackie is asking about food.
I love playing big groups. I love doing raids and stuff like this. So it's fun. It's getting dark. Yes, boys and girls, it's getting dark. Death.
Light some trees on fire. Bonfire! I like the idea of a bonfire. Okay, if you guys actually have questions, make sure that you @Signal Studio so that it pops up in my channel and is bolded and is pretty, and so I can actually see it properly.
Tree fire. We need a tree on fire. We need some quick heat. Where are you going, Shadow?
The jukebox, that is something that has been asked for occasionally, and likely will become an option, which is full screen windowed mode.
Yeah.
So no borders.
Just in time. Oh, I see Kerr.
But that's the thing, it's just when you only have 3 developer resources,
We're doing the
spend a
best
lot
we
of
can.
time. Yeah, you have to spend their time.
What do you see right there?
I see a dragon.
You guys want to? We're going to make our way up towards Befallen.
Not aggroing a dragon.
Not aggroing a dragon, and then we will veer off and head towards Helion.
So go to the right side of the...
I got this, Chloe.
I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about everybody else.
So if you guys follow me, you will. We were going to head straight up towards the Court Azul Tower. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, in the next update, the Golden Reaver has been renamed to the Sundered Oathblade.
Oh, so that actually appears when you...
Yes, that will actually show up in the game.
Has the new lore gone in for him?
No,
in the...
not yet.
Does that actually... That shows in the journal, right? That's
It
in
would.
the journal.
It will show in the journal.
So I gotta go, apparently go grab my laptop power cord because I wasn't smart enough to bring it in. But while I do that, Lucid Macabre has asked, and I think you're a good person to answer this while I'm gone, do you enjoy the development in real time aspect of early access? Would you do it again?
Oh,
I'll be right back.
Would I enjoy making another game in early access in the real-time development? Absolutely. This is actually, this is how it's a lot of fun making games this way because we get real-time feedback. Players can play the game, let us know what they like, what they don't like, and we can make changes accordingly. Sometimes I try to blend the feedback with the vision that I want to take the game. And most of the time, you guys are spot on, so it usually meshes well, but then I have to make decisions. Do I want to take it? Do I want to leave it? But in general, yeah, I love it. I think early access, I wish I had a bigger team, but in general, I love early access. It's a great, spending a year balancing and shaping the game. The fact that we got the game out there, people can play it, it's viable. We're also working out bugs with the engine, so we're optimizing, we're making it better with a variety. In the PC world, you have all sorts of different configurations, so we're making all these changes based on the configurations. It's really helpful. I think it's a great way to do development. You can get in early, so right now our price point's $19. And if you see some guys have like 100 hours of gameplay for $60, I didn't even get that much game time in Halo 4. So you get a lot of game time. Thank you, Chloe. You get a lot of game time for a low amount of, for a small amount of money, and then as we increase the price, you've already bought into the game. You've been part of the development. So every early access game is different. We're a developer that listens to our community. We love working with the fans. I love hearing everything you guys have to say. A lot of great feedback in the forums. And I will say that even though I don't always respond to every bit of feedback in the forum, I do read it. You guys will see me occasionally come on. We got great mods. So this is a great place to be. I think Savage is an amazing game, and it's going to be even better over time. So that's the long answer, which Chloe got back and she's like, wow, you're still answering that question?
No, thank you for filling up the time before I got back.
Yeah, I love early access. I believe in early access. I'm one of those developers that believes in early access and why it was created and how it can help us as a developer make better games. Now, sure, you could say, well, the game, some games come out and they're a hit. They're huge, they're just stellar right out the bat. Other games like us and Subnautica, we build up over time, and that's fine. That's totally cool. We're happy with that.
It's just a different method of game development in this case, and it works really well for a small studio or in small teams because we don't necessarily have the quickest turnaround on some of the bigger things because they're complicated. We don't have 10 people to work on one issue. We only have...
That's a great screenshot right there. You got the cool sky dome with the orange and the stupid blizzard that always follows me.
I was going to say, maybe a little less snow.
A little less snow, but by the way, guys, the blizzards are by design. Because when it's cold out, when the blizzard's going, your cold ticks down quicker. Just so if you guys didn't know that, it's actually... It's kind of brutal, and it's by design. We're looking at the Tower of Court Azul, which was named by our fans. This is over in the Befallen region. We really decked it out, made it look awesome. and it's one of the largest towers. I've been working on a way that you guys can get up to go to the top of the tower. I'm building up this really cool, elaborate kind of rock bridge thing that you got to climb up. So it's going to take me some time to do it well without killing performance. But I have some really fun ideas on how we're going to do it. So yeah, this is one of the 3 dragon towers in the game. Look at that! Love our schedule. So we got that sun setting in the distance there. All right, guys.
You better move before Kerr comes.
Oh, that's right. We got to get out of Dodge, everybody. I forget about the dragon that's constantly roaming around the world. All right, so we're at the top. Hold on, let me line up here. Beep, 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 beep.
Concord Ape, the Kerr encounter is one of the big things that is currently in development.
Oh, that's actually in development,
so, yes. We don't, so just like with dedicated servers, just like with the character
we have found a
customizer, there is some hesitation on our part to say, oh, hey, this is going to be in-game update 15, because it's very dependent on, just getting it done and the resources that code has, because not only are they working on new features, but they're also trying to bug fix, say you load into the game and all of a sudden you have skeletons spawning directly on top of your buildings but not doing anything and you can't interact with them. That's kind of not so awesome or fun. So we don't give dates until we're closer, just because of that, because we'd never want to tell you guys something that's wrong, and by wrong I say we don't want to say it'll be an update, say 14, and all of a sudden, oh wait, no, that's not going to come until update 16.
But we are a very transparent developer. I mean, I have no problems telling you when something's broke, it's broke, or we can't get something in, or we said something was going to go in, but it didn't, and that could, there's usually a good reason why something wouldn't go in, a feature wouldn't go in. So again, being early honest, I feel that early access, that it's important to be honest with your fan base as well. If you want your player base to support you and believe in you and believe in the product.
And I mean, that's the thing. We do post up the preview threads every time we have an update. And I know some of these questions are coming in because these are the first time that you've come to a DEVstream. And if this is your first DEVstream, welcome. Thank you so much for checking us out. But we do try and give you guys as much information as we can. We do these streams weekly. They're normally about an hour long. Sometimes they're a little crazier, and they go much longer than 2 hours when we get really crazy. But we do that so that you guys have a really good understanding of where we are in our development and what you guys can expect next. So, for example, tomorrow, right, we should have a written preview of 14? I thought you said we were going to have the preview thread tomorrow.
Did I?
Yeah, you said that at the beginning of the stream.
We'll have a written preview.
Okay.
And those previews are work in progress.
Yes, and what you'll actually see is over the week or so, normally as we get up until we get a beta build out and into your hands, we will actually continue to add to that thread as things sort of come off the work in progress list, which is sometimes included at the bottom, or as we get other fixes and things like that. It's mostly we add like more tweaks and bug fixes. Those will be the things that will be added rather than like, oh, hey, we managed to get another feature in. So for your information, for those of you who are just joining, you can always look for those threads in the forums and ask questions there and things like that. So that's totally awesome. As Moobot has just spit out, and this will come in 30 seconds late, the best place for you to actually make a suggestion or to see other suggestions that have already been made and join the conversation about how you would like to see a particular idea implemented is actually our Trello board. And that's something that we look at every week. There are discussions on most major topics in there right now. So if you are looking for something, okay, that's fine. If you're looking for something, that's kind of one of the best places to go and post. And since Chris is running away to do to enjoy it, leaving himself, I will keep talking for a moment. We have a whole bunch of resources available for you guys for when you can find or where you can find information. Of course, we have the official Steam forums, which is probably one of the ways that you found us by clicking follow on Steam. As well as if you actually go into our forums, Chris and I are in there constantly. We are in the bug forum. We are all over the feedback and suggestions forum. We're all over the general discussion forum. And that is because we actually truly believe in community engagement with the developers. So you guys are as much a part of this development process as we are actually making the game and making the codes writing the code, and all that. So along with the official forums, you can always find the most recent news or the latest news on our website, which is savagelandsgame.com. And you can follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Both are @SavagelandsGame or facebook.com/SavagelandsGame. So if you are curious about what the most recent news, updates, beta releases, all that kind of stuff, you will find that in those locations. And finally, not to be least in the list of things, we also have our Savage Lands Wiki, which is mostly headed up by Devlin and Sean, who are two of our very awesome mods, and they are very active right now with us in chat. Thank you very much, guys. As well as, so that includes all the information about the game that you can currently find, not only things that are included in the journal, but also hints about what could be coming in future lore and things that are not necessarily actually written in the game, because right now we don't have a good vessel for our lore tidbits other than in the journal. So if you're curious about Lycor or Kerr, two of the sort of the characters that we've talked the most about, there's a lot more information about both of those individuals in the actual wiki, and we offer some language support for different languages. So right now we have a couple of folks working on a Russian translation, as well as a couple of folks who have joined us for a German translation, which is awesome because obviously we are not at the point where we're ready to do localization in the game. So if you are a native speaker of any language and you wish to contribute, I highly encourage you to join in, because that's stuff that, you know, that makes everybody have a better experience and have a better resource. So. Oh, and apparently French too, which is awesome because I don't think I knew about the French. So, yay, French translation. So, scrolled this fighter. Unwritten lore, yes, there is lore that we've talked about in the stream when I poke Chris and say, hey Chris, how about a lore drop? So, hey Chris, how about a lore drop?
Would you guys like to know?
You know what? We haven't talked a lot about.
All right, guys, we're rolling.
Helion. Since you're going to Helion, now he was. We know some things. He was Lycor's second in command, and he took over. Now, where was Helion originally from? Because Lycor was originally from Argo, right?
No, Lycor was actually from Vec.
Whoops! I knew that. I did actually know that. That's why Vex burned to the ground.
I've also, I forgot to add, I restructured the journal in the next update. So, and I changed up some of Lycor's text a little bit, Helion as well. Helion was Lycor's second in command. Helion was from Askira, which is it's actually an area nearby here. And when Helion was charged with staying behind, so that in the event that Lycor and the Furies that Lycor took with him fell, Helion would then take command and spearhead the defense of the island. He did his best, but ultimately fell. The Lycor and the Fury, Lycor and the Furies that he took with him, they inflicted damage, which is why they kind of wander around. He didn't just walk up and they were just dead instantly, and that's why I kind of tweaked the lore a little bit. They actually inflicted some damage on Kerr, and Kerr, in return, instead of giving them instant death, basically corrupted them to walk the Sundial undead, which was part of the reason why you guys see these and you encounter these, and this is why they respawn. They are cursed forever to walk the Sundial in death, and I hope that kind of wraps up why these characters respawn on the island. So. You will find, Lycor walks with the Golden Reaver, one of the few weapons that actually could inflict.
Not the Golden Reaver.
I'm sorry, the Thunder Oath Blade. Thank you, Chloe.
Also, one more quick shout out to Arcane Stone for
yes,
that
Arcane
week.
Stone. Yeah, great name. One of the few weapons.
Facebook.
Oh, really?
He hadn't seen it. He just happened to see my post about it on Facebook. He's like, seriously?
Cool. Well, it's one of the few weapons that could inflict damage on Kerr, which is why I've said in a few streams, it'll be very important to collect the spirit stones or spirit shards. It'll be important to collect the night blooms because there's only going to be a certain set of weapons that can deal damage to Kerr. So
Including
you're not just going to...
oh no, I guess you don't get that one. You don't get the blue glowing one until afterwards, do you?
You're not going to just walk up to Kerr and start attacking and becoming victorious. I can assure you of that.
So you mean I can't go get one of those foam axes and smack them?
No. I'm also working on, I have some new weapons. I have a spirit blade that I'm going to be putting in. And one of my long-term goals is to put in ethereal creatures that you can only hit them with a certain type of weapon. So you see, lack of a better word, ghosts. And those ghosts will drop really cool things, but you have to have certain types of weapons, which spirit shards will come into play to forge those weapons to take down those creatures. So a lot of cool different layers from a forging standpoint that'll be in the game. So because we're a small team, I kind of add stuff piecemeal, bits at a time, but ultimately there's a rhyme and a reason for it. So
at Deprived has
oh, I gotta fix this guy's.
looks like a badger with
He looks like a diseased wolf
badger.
Just hasn't been loved in a while from art. I gotta fix those guys.
So Deprived, O2 Deprived is wondering, will there ever be a way to see stats and info on the items, weapon, armor, etc. in the actual inventory instead of going to the journal?
I want a real tooltip system. A real tool, MMORPG style. I'm not gonna no holds barred. I want a real MMORPG style tooltip system so you can see stats, rarity, all that great stuff that so you can make sense of what weapon you have. Going in, this is what you see right now is kind of a first pass at a gate, at implementation, so we could get it out there. Second phase is a really robust tooltip system that gives you the information you need on the fly as a user. So yes, I hope that answers that question. I'm very passionate about that.
We'll ask if that answered their question because they'll say it in chat.
It's on the list. I wanted to get it in for launch, but we didn't have time. Code was just overbooked with a lot of things that they had to get in. So I want to get it in time. So we're looking for the Helian ruins right now.
In the dark of night.
At night, I kind of have an idea of where we're at. I feel like we're close, but we're not as close as I want to be.
So Digibox, yes, that is something that we're actually looking to get changed. It's just kind of it keeps getting pushed down the list, and that is when a server is full, to have a queue or an option to at least see a full server so you can see, when you want to be able to join it. That is definitely a piece of feedback that we have gotten, but unfortunately we've been focused on other things.
Yeah, the server issue, believe it or not, where you can't see the server list on screen is actually a Steam issue.
Really?
That Jackie's been working through. Now other games have solved it. We just got to figure out how they solved it because devs often don't share bits of information like that readily.
Because why would they share information that is potentially proprietary about their game?
Yeah, so we got to figure out. So it's something we got to figure out. It's not, again, this is not something we said, hey, it would be a great idea if we just turned off the filters so that nobody could see games that were full, or it's actually an issue with Steam that we got to work through.
Working on it. But it is something that we are actively trying to change. So it is. We don't just want
It is weird.
Yeah, it is.
All right, I think we're at the golly.
Obi-Wan, in terms of how many slots a dedicated server will have, we have a target number, but we can't confirm what it is because it's literally still in development. And that makes it difficult for us to say, oh, well, it's going to be X because it might actually be Y, and we would never want to overestimate and then appear to under-deliver. If you weren't here earlier when we were talking about dedicated servers, Unity doesn't actually have a great way to do dedicated servers, so we're actually building it from scratch, which means that things are in flux and are changing on a regular basis. That being said,
It's very possible it went too far.
that being said, Chris, you have an idea of where you would, and you found some play goals. You have an idea of where you would like to be aiming for dedicated server numbers, right? In terms of how many people
I
will be on
think, again, it all depends on, in code, there's a comfortable, there is a comfortable level from code as well, but I'd like to be at between 24 and 32. I think that would fit the island well, not make it feel overcrowded. So that's my perfect scenario, and that's something that could come to fruition in the end. But you know, we actually have to get dedicated servers up and running first, and then we'll get it into our beta branch, get people hosting dedicated servers, so that we can see what our load is like and what issues come from that. So there's a whole testing process that we need to put the technology through, because it is brand new code for the game.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it shakes down, guys. I think I'm.
Have you lost yourself again?
Kinda. There's Befallen right there. So, I'm sorry. There's Cortisol. So I don't think we have.
Are you sure you didn't just misplace it in this build?
No.
You didn't turn that one off?
My mouse broke.
Ooh.
Well, that's not good.
Oh, Facebook's being awesome. It won't let me retweet something. Yay!
See, we would have ran into a Skira by now if we were over by the VEC tower. So
But you're with the right.
No.
Are you on the wrong side of the map?
No. That's the Fallen Tower.
Jukebox, if you're looking for, like, are there pictures of the armor on a character full setup? I don't actually think that we have that anywhere. I know on the wiki there's pictures of the individual pieces of armor that you can go to from, like, you can see the like the executioner gear, you can see the all that, and it's all broken apart, but I don't think we have anything.
I don't think we've actually done.
I don't think we've done character models with all.
No,
it'd
be a great thing for the community to do, for everybody out there. Just to, I mean, we could do it too, but just take pictures. Is everybody already there? I'm the guy going in the wrong direction, maybe.
So, Jukebox, are you looking for basically like the character standing with his arms out, and it's kind of like a paper doll thing where you can like drag and drop the model or the character armor. Good job, Chris. Way to get everybody lost.
Well, luckily we can find each other.
Yes. True.
In the game update number 14, I actually added some more ruin areas. We're getting killed. Where's Princess? All right. Sorry, guys.
Absolutely, Obi, and it's not something that we're. I apologize if it makes it sound like we're dodging the question, because we're really not. We just don't have enough. Oh, this was back about the number of characters, so we just don't know yet. And when we do, we will communicate that, because we think that's pretty important information for you guys. So
let's get a fire going, everybody.
Let you know when we know.
Yeah, no, I don't try to dodge questions personally. I usually get distracted like a.
Chris playing for multiple hours this is the reason why when I did the live stream, he was only on it for a couple of times.
I would just get immersed in the game, and I'm like, oh wait, I'm streaming. Hey guys.
And yes, for anybody who is interested, you are more than welcome to stream the game. We love knowing when you guys are streaming or when you guys do videos. So if you do either one, please let us know. We love watching what you guys do, either live or in videos. We actually go and listen to what a lot of you say so that we can inform our own design decisions. Because, you know, having hundreds of people play your game at any point in a given day, it's kind of useful. You're getting 100 different opinions. So let us know if you guys do that. We love to come watch. We love to share that stuff. We love to promote you guys. So let us know.
All right, there's cortisol. Which means that.
Did you find it? Did you find it?
No, it's not as easy. Helium spawn is tucked away. It's nice and hidden. So, yeah, you could. It would be great to say, oh, if you visit the Great Cavern of Karazhan, you'll find helium. No, we're not that crazy. It's all of the areas. That's kind of the neat thing about stumbling upon a lot of this stuff is that they're hidden within the world. So you got to kind of go out and explore and find them. Even for myself as a developer who helped build the world. It's kind of a different perspective. You can easily get lost when you're actually running in the world. So I kind of have an idea of where we're at, but at the same time, but in the next update I actually made some tweaks because I wanted players to find the Helion stuff a little bit easier. And down by the beach, just directly below Helion is some cool stuff.
And Hope Fighter has asked, if you would be so kind, will boss fights, when they are in, like the current counter, be heavily based on mechanics? Most boss fights nowadays seem to just be DPS races with slight mechanics.
Hopefully we can get some cool mechanics in. Oh, cool. Now I'm bleeding. Yes, it would be great to have some interesting elements to combat that require you to change up your tactics.
Other than just the hack and slash that the game kind of currently is in.
Yes, that's correct.
Why did you put your meat instead of a bag? Or are those bags full?
They're full.
Oh, well, that's useless then.
I'm a weak female. Where's Crank? Crank is always, it's like...
I think he's just stopped. He doesn't even look like he's moving.
All right, guys.
Okay.
We got this. We'll find this. This is going to be like, I feel like it's the Benny Hill show. All right, so, all right. Follow me! We're going back up the hill for good reason.
So, Game Request is in chat. Hey, Maris.
Hey!
And is curious about our updated plans to fire arrows.
Fire arrows would be awesome. I'd like to add more arrows. I'd like to add ebon-tipped arrows to the game. I'd like to add ornate bows that add greater range, more power. So we have a basic bow in right now, basic hunting bow, which is okay. It does what it needs to do, but I want to add some more elaborate pieces to those. A more elaborate compound bow that you can build, and along with the arrows to make them. I also want to get feathers in because I think it's important that you got to go out and collect feathers because what arrow, in a savage world like this, you do need feathers to kind of tip on each arrow. So add those to the different trees when you cut them down, and eventually we're going to add birds in. So yes, I want to add more to the bow system.
But not Herman. Herman stays in the armory.
He's just a poor little poly raven.
Well, that's because he spends all his polys defending the armory.
Yes, that's what he does.
That's my rationalization.
All right. So what else we got? All right, I'm officially. We're in the general area of heal. You know what I need to do? I need to add some light in there. Do something I can add. It's easier to find at night. So I'm thinking of something I should do for the ruins at night. All right. So anyway,
give off a slightly, perhaps, ethereal glow.
Would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? This is what I get for. Let's go to the Helion spawn, everybody.
Kind of weave your way there.
Here's what I'll do next time. I will go to the Helion spawn, and then you guys can just run to me. Now therein lies the challenge.
Challenge.
All right. So what do we got? Server's full currently. Yeah, we got a ton of people in here.
I'm scrolling back to see if I missed any questions. Apologies if we do. It is not intentional. In fact, actually, while I'm scrolling, why don't you come up with our next giveaway keyword?
Let's see. Hold on, I got it.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Yeah. Are you really sure? Do you?
Oathblade.
Oathblade.
How's that?
It is Oathblade, right? Not Oakblade.
It is Oathblade.
Okay.
To the girl that tweeted and socialed the winner out. Yes, it is.
Sweet.
It is the sundered.
In fact, actually, is it Oathblade? It is Oathblade because you said Oathbreaker last week, and I had to correct you.
Did I say it? Yeah, you corrected me. It was. It's a sundered Oathblade. I'm running down to the beach. That's it.
Oop. No caps, no spaces, all one word, because it is actually, it is one word. And as we said, props to Arcane Stone for coming up with that, and props to our other winners as well. Gamlamar's Watch will be will be a new town, because Chris loved the name so much, and it'll be interesting. It will be a port town. Will Gamlamar be a named mob, or will it just be
just the name of the town?
Okay, well, that's fair. Although, yay for more lore, because we'll have to know who Gamlamar was. And the Ruined Watchtower of Lord of Cortezul, which was Lord Chaos, I think. Was...
The Ruined Watchtower of Cortezul.
Indeed.
Gotta add mystery, gotta personality to it. Really emphasize how cool these areas are.
No comment. Blinds asked a while ago, and I'm sorry, I just scrolled back to see it. Locks for chests or hidden caches, because of course we did the dedicated discussion about that a couple weeks ago. It's still something that we're working on. But...
Locks for chests is something. I would love to get locks on chests and doors in your world, absolutely. But unfortunately it's a lower priority right now with all the other stuff that we're working on. I mean, the list could go on and on. We could probably mount easily another 2 years worth of work onto the game, but it's all stuff that just takes time. What else we got?
Well, Jukebox just asked about the stones or rather, how does he get different types of material from the rocks?
The larger the stone, the more unique types of materials it will provide.
So Crank is by the ruins, apparently.
All right. I was going to the beach.
You didn't say you were going to the beach.
I was going to go reflect on this terrible leadership role that I apparently have here. And luckily for us, we have a community of players that know the game better than I do when it comes to playing it. So, all right, this way, buddy. Crank, where's Crank at? I don't see him.
He's underneath randomized user.
Yeah. All right.
The names are conflicting.
All right, guys, if you're watching, we're going to head towards Crank. Crank is at the ruins. And I promise you in game update number 14, if you run along the beach, you will. There we go. Light the beacon, Shadow Lord. Oh, I'm actually freezing to death. I should pay attention. Hey. Oh.
I'm picking winners, so that's why I'm being quiet for a moment.
All right, so everybody head to Crank. I was in the general area. Crank. All right, what do we got? Oathblade.
All right.
Yes, I want mounts. Mounts would be awesome. Giant Yetis that would be your companion. Yetis would be awesome, wouldn't they? And they throw snowballs? No.
Oh, couldn't the gremlins throw snowballs?
They could. That would actually be kind of funny.
Just pile up and like toss one at each other?
I'd love it if those guys threw snowballs and then ran away.
Okay. Okay, so
forever taunting you.
congratulations to CAD, 3D Pixels, Netherward, Kyrie, and J149. You guys will all get copies of Savage Lands. Please make sure that you message me.
There we go.
And Mubot is about to drop that into chat whenever they are done, or whenever it gets points. So congratulations to those guys, to those winners.
Well, all right. It looks like I got everybody here safe and sound. Terrible, terrible raid leader. All right, guys. These are the ruins where Helion spawns.
You were totally that Leroy character.
We've played a lot of RPGs. I was like that. It's like, what are we doing, guys? It's like, what are we doing? I was just reading some stuff on the web. Yeah, I'd get in trouble a lot. Dude, really? It's always the wizard. I always play the wizard.
Yep.
It's always the wizard. What are you doing? You're spacing out. I had to go do something. I had to go make some food. All right. So anyway, these ruins, this is where Helion spawns. This is kind of, there is some backstory that I'm going to build behind it, why he spawns at these particular ruins.
Could you give a little preview?
Not right now.
Without
ad-libbing. No, I can't, but there will be some backstory. Now we have 3 different unique ruin areas in the game where 3 different mobs spawn. We have 5 different towns that are spread throughout the world. And then we got a bunch of like miscellaneous camps, just abandoned villages and whatnot that you can find adventuring through the world. And then we have the 3 giant watchtowers. Each watchtower is very different. They have their own names. And as we go forward with development, you'll find unique mobs in those areas as well.
Exhibits?
Yes. We're going to add heads of players.
Well, we already have that, though, with the Pike of Victory.
That's pretty cool.
I'm not saying.
I think it's pretty cool to be able to kill another player in PvP and then take their head and put it on a pike.
And there are some individuals in the community who are already collecting heads of devs.
Oh, yeah. I think it's great.
Which I'm pretty sure mine's the only one that's been collected so far. And the moderators who get mods have my heads on pikes. I'm not sure that that's saying that out loud, I'm not sure that that's actually such a great thing.
Penguin, our community on Steam has put together some great maps on the Sundial that you can go and... Why am I... Hold on. Spirit Orb, by the way. I'm starving too. Our community has put together some great maps that you can go look at in our Steam community section that point out cool areas on the Sundial. Not everything is kind of called out yet, but there's a lot of information there to help you, find your way around the island. There's also, for those of you, our compass, the way we use it, it's not like a normal. The way it's set up, it's not necessarily normal in how it's set up. There's some great guides on how the compass is used in the world and how to best leverage it.
Well, to be fair, actually, it is how a
compass
works.
It's
totally how a compass works. It's just not how most players are used to compasses working.
Yes. It feels a little bit different, or our world is different because it's a fantasy world. So, all right. So that's there's that. So here we are. We're at the ruins. Anybody got any stories? We got a house being built. This is what I'm talking about. This is an efficient team right here. Don't mess around. Fire up, Pike of Resurrection being built, and we get a house going. Because we're going to set up camp here.
Except you need skulls.
Well, luckily we're in a ruin area where skeletons spawn.
Just dropping a pike doesn't.
I'm just saying we're in progress. It's whip.
Right.
Chloe. All right. So while we're here, let's answer questions.
I was just going to say, so the jukebox was asking about rocks and mining, and that brings to mind, once you mine out a rock, what happens?
Some rocks will disappear. The smaller rocks will disappear, the larger ones will just be mined out. But I'm looking at ways to make some of the larger ones disappear. So that when you mine out a rock now, it's gone. It's out of the world. But there are some issues that we still got to work through.
Some new code that we'll probably have to go.
I think I can do it with existing code. I just got to figure out the best way to do it. So give it time. I'll keep you guys updated. Obi-Wan, what is the evil glowing around that object? So what I had in my hand, this is a spirit orb. You get these. They cure disease. I'm also going to add it so they cure poison. Basically, they'll cure all ailments on you in the next update or two. They also regenerate health, and they have a cool little glowy emitter around them. You get these from killing spirit wolves. You got to get the shards, and then once you have the shards, you can essentially create these, and they give you health, and then they cure ailments. But the drawback is that while you have it in your hand, it decays. So while you're getting all these benefits, you're also draining it of the energy that allows you to have these benefits.
From the big ones in the middle.
Yes, yes, I agree with the large rocks. By the way, there was a question asked, large rocks should stay, old but new, and you're absolutely right. Old rocks, those big rocks will stay. I think they're critical to the overall experience, and we're adding in more and more cool stuff. So, yes, they will stay.
Navigational rocks are not going anywhere, because otherwise, Chris...
I will get lost in my own world that I created.
Get lost, and that would be bad.
Yes, it would be terrible.
Ashfin.
Those are spirit skeletons. They drop spirit orbs. Yes, Ashfin, that creature is called Draymar, the Wanderer. And Draymar drops spirit orbs. You'll actually get orbs from Draymar. They're a rare drop, in addition to shards. Shards are going to be critical, guys. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, killing some of these creatures, you know, they may not drop a lot, but they drop things that you will need ultimately in the future. So get them while you can, because as I balance the encounters, those encounters become more difficult. As many of the old schoolers on the stream right now can attest to, forest giants back in the day, you could smack them and they'd fall over. Now, not so much. They're actually a little bit of a challenge. So constant tuning. Same thing with weapons. Sometimes I pull weapons out of the drop tables and to put new weapons in, or just to put them elsewhere on a named creature. So it's as we're going through development. That's what this is. You're in a game that's in development. Things are going to change. You know, I pulled the Grey Reaver out of the game for a while, but brought it back as a more complex crafting item that you can build that requires, you know, getting an item from a mob and ore and all this other stuff. But once you got it, in my opinion, it's kind of a status symbol that you went through the hoops to get this particular weapon, which is pretty cool.
I mean, it may not be the most, like, it's not the best weapon in terms of damage in the game, but it takes extra time to get there.
It is Helion's weapon. So, and I do want to add in time certain types of unique effects. So, yeah, damage effects that can be applied to creatures that increase the damage of a weapon. Well, right now, the Sundered Oathblade is the most powerful weapon. That may not be true in the next several months, where the Grey Reaver may have several effects on it that make it the most powerful weapon in the game. We'll see. There's a lot of balancing that needs to take place. Like I said, I'm adding spirit blades, spirit weapons in the game, a couple named spirit weapons, with the idea that certain creatures in the game can only be attacked by these weapon types. So there you go.
Now, Vincent Dita asked about owls at night,
I would
for
love
example.
owls. Owls would be awesome.
We do want to, like Chris was saying just a little while ago, we do want to have
Chirpers.
birds. There are chirpers, not crickets. But just to finish a sentence for 5 seconds, we want to have owls, well, not necessarily just owls, but have birds, and the ability to collect feathers to improve your arrows. So, owls are a potential.
Owls are great. We actually, being here in Seattle, one night I went out and there was an owl behind my house. I actually had to bring my dog in because I was afraid the owl was I have a smaller dog that was gonna
swoop down and steal the dog away.
Yeah, owls are awesome. I love owls. They're really cool. Avian.
So, what does a chirper look like, Chris?
Looks like a chirper, guys. Come on. I mean, really?
What's a chirper?
It's a variant of a cricket.
Is it?
That evolved to.
Is it Does it have horns?
It's a crickety thing. It's like Jimmy Cricket.
Actually, that would be a fun community challenge. Here's something that we're going to run for next week. It's an art challenge.
Yes, Crank, thank you for leading me around in my own game. I greatly appreciate it. It's awesome. Thank you.
So, as I was saying, our challenge for next week, or maybe the week after, depending on how
Yes.
how frequently we get or how often we get them, draw your inspiration for what the chirper looks like.
Crank, let me answer. Elk and deer do bungee around, but that should hopefully be remedied in the next update.
We got a bunch of those AI fixes in after we had already taken the build for beta this week, and we didn't want to wait for that beta build. So we wanted you guys to have something to test and play with in the meantime. So they came in right as we were signing off, and it's like, oh. Yeah,
this is more of a small balance update, or small, but micro update, where the next update is going to be more code driven. So it requires more testing.
The poor one.
Stream Streaker. That's much.
Yeah. So our challenge, I'll write up the submission stuff for that, which I have no idea how I'm going to do that, but we'll figure it out. All right. I'll have stuff for you guys tomorrow. But
let's see. I'm going to give away some spirit orbs.
You're going to spirit orbs in game? Okay. Well.
Hold on. Anyone wants? Golly. I can't. I am terrible at typing. You guys will laugh. When I worked at Microsoft, because I reviewed a lot of games from external devs, I used speech recognition so I could play the game, and it would capture. It was actually very, very smooth way of doing things versus stop and typing.
Right,
I could actually communicate. I could actually speech to text, and I could actually take notes while playing the game and give feedback. It was really cool system. But I'm a terrible typer. I'm really slow. I'm old. My hands hurt. They're cramped from all the years of making games. All right, so spirit orbs. All right, one per person, guys. This is like you know, an everlasting gobstopper. Please, one per person. One per person.
I'm sure they will be polite to each other. We have an awesome community, so I'm sure everybody will be polite.
One per person. All right.
Now, to jump back to the Grey Reaver for a moment. Just to jump back. And it's not specifically about the Grey Reaver. It's, should we expect when additional armor and gear gets put in, that some of it may follow the same concept as the Grey Reaver, which is there are.
Yes, I may even take some of the existing armor and make it more complex. I believe players enjoy that complexity of going about finding the items and mats required to make these things. We're in early access. We got it out there. We wanted to start testing systems and functionality. But for me, the Grey Reaver is probably one of the better items that you can craft from a complexity standpoint, because it requires you to go out and find a named mob that gives you this ancient blade that you then forge using other elements that you've mined and acquired from other creatures. I love that, and I would love to make more items around that kind of concept. And actually, I will make more items around that. From once Kerr becomes a full encounter in the game, you will need to find certain. There will be certain, like I said, I want certain weapons in the game to take down Kerr. Maybe that might not happen early on, but in the long term, that will happen. But there will be the crafting. The better the gear, the more complex it will be to craft that gear, or the more powerful the NPC will be that you have to kill.
Mm-hmm. Now, it is 3 o'clock. You haven't found Helium.
We're at the Helium.
I know.
It's a rare spawn.
I'm just saying, how much longer would you like to run the stream?
Let's go for another 15 minutes. You guys want to hang out? Let's give away some stuff.
All right. Well, that was going to
Yes.
be my next thing. So if we're going to keep going, I'm going to do another.
Do you guys want to hang out and let's do a couple more giveaways.
Alright.
We'll do one now and one towards the end. You guys want to give away stuff? Spirit armor made from orbs. I do have an idea for spirit armor, by the way, that is this really kind of cool, ethereal. What I had in my mind was, you think of the guys from Lord of the Rings, I forget their name already, the ghosts. They were the guys in the mountains. Kind of this really cool kind of ethereal sea. It's kind of like the spirit wolves. When you see them, you see this ethereal look about them. I want that armor to look the same on the players. So I have this really cool idea for spirit armor. So, yes. God, what were they called? You know, the sad thing is, I actually worked on the Lord of the Rings title, and I can't even remember what the freaking name.
Mithril?
No, it wasn't Mithril. It was the name of the. They were the. Come on, something. Not the Nazgul. They were the Aragorn. Went and recruited the king and told him that
not King Under the Mountain.
once they fulfilled their oath, they would be free.
Yeah, the ghosts who are